Recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm one person who always believed that the greatest of our country is the freedoms and greatness of our people. And someone who came from a communist country, it appalled me what's happened in our country. And I said that, unfortunately, Congress became a circus and charade. Unfortunately, what's happened in your district is also a circuit and charade. And I appreciate people being here, Mr. Alba, Ms. Harrison, Ms. Brame, and actually sharing your personal story. And I apologize on behalf of the Congress. I also appreciate Mr. Holden sitting here and actually willing to challenge your own party. I actually do it quite a lot. And a lot of people in your party don't have that strength, and I hope we can see more of that. You know, on the way here, one of my constituents texted me. We had police officer suicide. We had police officer killed in the district last year. We have a serious problem with our criminal justice system. Our government is set up to protect people's rights to life, liberty, and property, and it's not doing it. People playing politics, and it is one of the core functions, and this committee has that function. So I appreciate Mr. Chairman actually having field hearing. I actually appreciate my Democrat colleagues showed up this time, because I hope we'll do more. Because the city of Indianapolis has higher murder rates than the city of Chicago. And we have a Democrat prosecutor. He's not enforcing the crime, the laws. And what the problem is what we have right now, and I actually agree with Mr. Goldman and Lofgren about jurisdiction. It's a challenge. I want to hear what we can do, what we shouldn't be doing, and I hope we will have more discussion about jurisdiction, because we're overreaching significantly on the states' rights. And a former state senator, I have a huge problem with that. I also agree with, at least appreciate Mr. Ivey said, you know what, it's all about gun control. At least he's honest, okay? Not like do all these talking points. Like I was listening to TV this morning. They already say, oh, committee came about talking about all the break. I honestly don't give about him. I actually care what is happening in this country. And I think it's important for us to hear from we the people, because people are not heard in D.C. There is no lobby for the people in Washington, D.C. So hopefully you'll start being more active in that. I also think, Mr. Spartz said, follow the money. I actually would like to follow the money. Why we're not dealing with hospital monopolies that Chuck Schumer is supporting so much? Why we're not dealing with a border situation that all those NGOs get money, who knows when the hell they're doing with that, and why we have the crises with all the situation. But I want to try to ask you, if we want to find common ground, I actually, on the criminal justice subcommittee, tried to pass some laws on a bipartisan basis. But is there any in your party except gun control? I know that Ms. Fisher, you mentioned about, the safe storage and everything. I just don't see anything how I am and my kids are going to be safer if I lock up my guns. I just feel, actually, as a female, I feel not as safe. And I don't know how long overwhelmed police officers will take them now to get to help us. So I think it's really strange for me. We try to take, protection from law-abiding citizens and believe that criminals are not going to get guns. I mean, there is anything else except gun control. Maybe we should reform education and have some wraparound preventive services and have more competition in education, that these kids actually taught some values. They don't have a 10% or 8% literacy rate that they have to get into gangs. Is there anything else you can say except gun control?
So comprehensive solutions to reducing violence in New York City have actually been incredibly effective. And that's why if I set the record straight, because we've been talking a lot about statistics, the NYPD's own data has shown that shootings are down in the first quarter, 19%. Homicides are down 9%.
Okay, Mr. Kessler, my question for you. You've been talking a lot about trafficking and, I'm going to be talking about child trafficking, human trafficking, drug trafficking on the border, and cartels actually doing what this gun violence associated with them. Can we find common ground on that?
Let me try to...
is cartel not a problem? Can you tell me the trafficking of guns done by Mexican cartels that now we're subsidized with taxpayers' money, is it not a problem? Can we find a common ground on that?
Perhaps, if I...
But let's talk about that. I mean, why cannot we talk about that?
If I could just have 30 seconds to answer.
Well, I don't have 30 seconds, but...
Back in the Wayback Machine, I helped with Chuck Schumer, worked on the 1994 crime bill, which I know not everybody loves, but one of the things about that crime, it was huge, it was comprehensive, it was one of the things that brought down crime in this country, but one of the most important things about that crime bill, Schumer gets a lot of credit for it, Henry Hyde, the Republican ranking member worked on it closely with Schumer too. It was a bipartisan effort, and solutions was taken from both sides. And
but let's talk
wasn't
about
perfect,
it. But
the
we
crime,
right now not doing.
crime rate started
My
going
time
down.
is
It was-
expired, but we need to stop playing politics with people's life. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. The